Have you ever witnessed a sunset so breathtaking that it felt like time stood still? That moment when the sky transforms into a masterpiece of fiery oranges, deep purples and golden hues. Pure magic, right? But where in the world can you find the most unforgettable sunsets? Is it by the ocean, atop a mountain, or in the heart of the wilderness? Stick around because we're about to take you on a journey to 8 incredible places where the sunset is nothing short of legendary. Grand Canyon, Arizona, USA. Ever watch the sky catch fire as the sun dips below a horizon that stretches beyond imagination? The Grand Canyon does just that, but on a whole other level. As the sun begins its descent, the sky erupts into a masterpiece of burning oranges, soft purples and deep reds, painting the canyon's rugged layers in a golden glow. It's like watching time itself unfold, as shadows dance across rocks carved by millions of years of wind and water. One of the best spots to witness this spectacle? Hopi Point. It offers an unobstructed panoramic view, where the vastness of the canyon feels almost overwhelming. As the air cools and the last rays of sunlight cling to the cliff edges, there's a surreal stillness. The Colorado River, snaking through the depths below, catches the fading light like molten gold. The best part? The Grand Canyon doesn't do boring. Every sunset here is unique. One evening might give you a soft pastel glow, while the next could be an explosion of fiery crimson. And if you stick around long enough, the sky transforms into a stargazer's paradise, revealing one of the clearest night skies in the US. So, if you ever find yourself standing at the edge of this geological wonder, just pause. Breathe in the silence, watch the colors shift, and let nature remind you how small, but how lucky, you really are. Santorini, Greece. You haven't truly seen a sunset until you've stood on the whitewashed cliffs of Santorini, watching the sun kiss the Aegean Sea goodbye. Picture this: the sky morphs into a dreamy mix of blush pinks, fiery oranges and soft lavenders, all while the famous blue-domed buildings glow in the golden light. It's a view that poets and painters have obsessed over for centuries, and for good reason. The best place to witness this magic? Oya. Perched high above the water, it's like stepping into a living postcard. As the sun lowers, the entire town gathers on terraces, rooftops, and castle ruins, waiting for that perfect moment. And when the last sliver of sun finally dips below the horizon, a spontaneous round of applause often breaks out, because yes, it's that breathtaking. But here's the secret: the magic doesn't end there. As twilight settles, the island lights up with twinkling lanterns and candlelit cafes, setting the scene for a night filled with romance and adventure. Sip on a glass of crisp Assyrtiko wine, feel the cool ocean breeze, and just exist in the moment, because Santorini's sunsets aren't just about watching, they're about feeling. Uluru, Australia. Imagine standing in the heart of the Australian outback, surrounded by a vast, endless desert. The air is still, the land stretches into the horizon, and in front of you stands Uluru, the iconic sandstone monolith that has been sacred to the Anangu people for thousands of years. Now picture the sun setting behind it. As the sun sinks lower, something incredible happens. Uluru begins to glow. At first it's a deep burnt orange, but then, slowly, it shifts. Fiery red, rich purple, a final burst of gold. It's not just a sunset, it's a transformation, a natural phenomenon so mesmerizing that you almost forget to breathe. The rock seems alive, reflecting the sky's colors in a way that feels almost surreal. The silence of the outback makes the experience even more powerful. There are no car horns, no city noise, just the occasional rustle of the wind against the desert brush. If you listen closely, you might even hear the distant calls of dingoes echoing across the land, and the best part? The night that follows. Once the sun disappears, the sky above Uluru turns into an astronomer's dream, with stars so bright they look like diamonds scattered across black velvet. It's a sunset, a spiritual experience, and a connection to something far older than any of us, all in one breathtaking moment. Key West, Florida, USA. In Key West, sunsets aren't just sunsets, they're a celebration. Picture this. You're standing at Mallory Square, a waterfront hotspot where hundreds gather every evening to witness what's been called one of the most beautiful sunsets in the world. The sky is a masterpiece of tangerine, fuchsia, and gold, and just as the sun begins its slow descent into the Gulf of Mexico, the entire crowd pauses, hypnotized by the magic. But here's what makes Key West special: the energy. It's not just about the sunset, it's about the entire experience. street performers, fire jugglers, and local musicians turn the square into an open-air festival. You might see an escape artist wriggling out of chains, a musician playing island tunes on a steel drum, or a local artist painting the skies changing colors in real time. It's part carnival, part paradise, and 100% unforgettable. And if you're on a boat, even better. A sunset cruise lets you watch the sun dip below the horizon with nothing but ocean all around you, turning the sky into a watercolor painting that stretches endlessly in every direction. As the final rays disappear, the square erupts in cheers and applause. Because in Key West, every sunset deserves a standing ovation. And honestly, you'll want to clap too. Masai Mara, Kenya. Now imagine this. You're standing in the heart of the African savanna, a golden sea of grass stretching endlessly in every direction. The air is thick with the scent of the earth, and in the distance a lone acacia tree stands silhouetted against the sky. Then, as if the world itself is holding its breath, the sun begins its slow descent, and just like that, the sky erupts into fire. Deep amber, burnt orange, streaks of crimson, colors so intense they look unreal. The silhouettes of grazing elephants, giraffes, and wildebeests become part of the masterpiece, their forms outlined against the glowing horizon. It's not just a sunset, it's a moment that feels like it belongs in a National Geographic documentary. But here's the thing about the Masai Mara, it's unpredictable. One evening you might be watching a pride of lions lazily stretch under the golden light. The next, a herd of zebras might kick up dust as they gallop across the plains, their movements framed by the glowing dusk. Every single sunset here tells a different story, and as the sun finally disappears, the sky doesn't go dark, it explodes into stars. The vast African night takes over, and the distant calls of hyenas and the roar of a lion become the soundtrack to an unforgettable evening. Because in the Masai Mara, the sunset isn't just something you watch, it's something you feel. Bali, Indonesia. There's something about a Bali sunset that feels almost cinematic. Maybe it's the palm-fringed beaches, the rhythmic crash of waves, or the way the entire island seems to pause for those few magical minutes. But one thing's for sure. Once you've seen a sunset in Bali, you'll never forget it. And if you want the most legendary view, head to Tanah Lot Temple. Perched on a dramatic rock formation surrounded by the endless Indian Ocean, this ancient sea temple is the perfect stage for nature's most stunning performance. As the sun lowers, it paints the sky in lavender, orange, and deep gold, casting an ethereal glow over the temple's silhouette. It's the kind of moment that belongs on a postcard, but so much better in real life. But Bali isn't just about stillness, it's about energy. After the sun sets, beachfront bars and cliffside lounges come alive with music, fire dancers, and laughter. If you're on Jimbaran Beach, you can enjoy a sunset seafood dinner right on the sand, candlelight flickering against the waves. And if you're feeling adventurous, head to Uluwatu, where the famous Kikak fire dance takes place on a clifftop amphitheater, lit by nothing but the fading sun and crackling flames. Because in Bali, the sunset isn't the end of the story, it's just the beginning. Grand Teton National Park, Wyoming, USA. Picture this, towering snow-capped peaks, a mirror-like lake, and a sky that looks like an artist just spilled every shade of orange, pink, and violet across it. That's Grand Teton National Park at sunset, and if you haven't seen it yet, you're seriously missing out. The magic starts as the sun begins to sink behind the jagged peaks of the Teton Range. The mountains turn a soft, dusty purple, and Jackson Lake catches the last rays of sunlight, glowing like liquid gold. The air is crisp, fresh, and filled with the distant calls of elk and bald eagles. You might even spot a moose or two, wading through the water, their silhouettes blending into the landscape. For the best view, Schwabacher Landing. Here, the reflection of the mountains in the water makes the entire scene look like a painting. It's peaceful, it's untouched, it's nature at its absolute finest. And when the sun finally disappears, the sky explodes with stars. No city lights, no distractions, just you, the Milky Way, and the quiet hum of the wild. It's one of those sunsets that doesn't just fade, it lingers, leaving you with a feeling that you've just witnessed something purely magical. Taj Mahal, Agra, India. Some places are beautiful, others, they feel like a dream. And when you watch the sunset at the Taj Mahal, you realize you're standing somewhere that's both. As the sun begins its slow descent, the ivory white marble of the Taj starts to glow. At first it's a warm, buttery gold, then as the sky shifts into hues of pink, orange, and soft lavender, the entire monument takes on an almost surreal radiance. The reflection in the surrounding pools doubles the magic, making it look like the Taj is floating in a sea of colors. The air is thick with history, love, and an eerie kind of stillness. This isn't just a sunset, it's a moment where you can almost hear whispers from the past, of emperors and lost love, of devotion and time standing still. Want the best spot? Mehtab Bagh. This hidden gem across the Yamuna River gives you an uninterrupted, crowd-free view of the Taj as the sun dips behind it. It's quieter, more personal, more magical, and when the last sliver of light vanishes, leaving the monument bathed in the soft glow of twilight, you'll understand why they call it a wonder of the world. Because witnessing the Taj Mahal at sunset, it's something that stays with you forever. And there you have it, 8 of the most breathtaking places to witness a sunset. Which one would you love to experience first? Or do you have a secret sunset spot of your own? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this journey, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Explore Edge for more epic travel inspiration. Until next time, keep exploring, keep chasing sunsets, and we'll see you in the next adventure.